Hello, one and all. Welcome to another episode of MMA Vision Analysis. This one, I'm here to talk about Anthony Joshua's recent comments in regards to a potential Alex Pereira boxing debut. But before getting started, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification to get all of this that is new from this channel, your channel, the one and only MMA Vision Analysis. So in a recent article, said article claims that Anthony Joshua thinks that Alex Pereira should make his boxing debut. I'm not sure what Anthony Joshua saw in Alex Pereira which made him say those kind of things. I don't look at Alex Pereira and think to myself, oh, this guy can do very well in boxing. But obviously, this is myself speaking, an average MMA fan trying to understand what's unfolding in front of me. But for a actual combat fighter, in the style and the form and discipline of a boxing, can perhaps see something that I can't necessarily see, and that's in Alex Pereira, that is. Anthony Joshua thinks that Alex Pereira should make his boxing debut. Not sure what Anthony saw in Joshua, what Joshua saw in Pereira to make Anthony say those comments. I think every single time a MMA fighter step a foot inside of a boxing ring usually does not end well. I believe with the exclusion of a few. One that pops into mind, obviously, Nate Diaz just defeated Jorge Masvidal in a boxing match. I don't know if that counts. Both guys are MMA guys. We obviously have Anderson Silva a couple years back, defeated an actual boxer. But the rest of the times that I recall, every single time a MMA guy steps a foot inside of a boxing ring against an actual boxer or a person that's disciplined is solely boxing, it usually does not end well. And the furthest I can track back is perhaps that Floyd Mayweather fight. I do understand that there were probably instances where where there were MMA guys stepping foot in the octagon. Me personally, I was first aware of it, obviously, when the Notorious One fought Floyd Mayweather. Now, that being said, I say that to say that, and I think I mentioned it earlier, that I'm not a huge fan of MMA guys stepping foot in boxing rings. Obviously, for a guy like Anthony Joshua, gives him free wins and highlight knockouts, like the way that he did against former heavyweight champion in the UFC, Francis Ngannou. Made Ngannou look very bad in the fight between the two. And in many ways, I look at this Anthony Joshua egging Alex Pereira on, trying to perhaps lure Alex Pereira into the boxing realm and perhaps envision himself against a Alex Pereira. And that's like a free knockout for, in all honesty, any boxer that stands in front of Alex Pereira. I understand this may provoke some, harsh comments. But what I'm trying to say here is that when I look at Alex Pereira, I mean, the guy has a very awkward style for MMA. His actual discipline, the way he throws punches are very unorthodox. His kicks are very unorthodox. His style is very unorthodox. He is usually flat-footed. If you guys pay attention to his footwork during fights, usually Alex Pereira is pretty flat-footed. And what he does is that he picks and chooses shots. He is not necessarily the guy that has superior movement to any of his opponents, in all honesty. That's a fact. It's not the movement. It's the guy's ability to take a punch and land a punch. And when the guy lands, that's when the opposition has trouble. But generally speaking, if I were a boxer and I was looking at Alex Pereira's style, I wouldn't necessarily say that Alex Pereira has the best technique to be suitable to become a boxer. He does not have great footwork. Usually pretty flat-footed. If you guys track back to his fights, he's usually pretty flat-footed. He looks for openings. He picks and chooses those openings, and he's very conservative with his energy reserves. That's Alex Pereira. So, like I said, I just look at those comments as Anthony Joshua's way to lure yet another top MMA guy into the boxing ring so the latter can suffer an embarrassing defeat. I would really like to see some of these guys step foot in octagon. Let's see how that goes when it's closer to a quote-unquote real fight, right? So let's see if in the near future if there's any boxer brave enough to step a foot in the octagon. If you are, which I look at this as Anthony Joshua calling out in an indirect way Alex Pereira. That's how I look at it. I'm sick and tired of seeing the top MMA guys, UFC specifically, to go inside of that boxing ring and suffer embarrassing losses. The last, obviously, Francis Ngannou. If you made it this far, I appreciate you for sticking around. Please let me know what you think in the comments and subscribe for more.